Another surprise guest, Benjamin Cox, caught me on the sidelines here of the San Francisco Metals and Minerals Conference. He's the founder of Oreninc, correct, Benjamin?
Yes, I'm the founder and managing director and chief bottle washer, because in this market you got to do everything.
So in one sentence, what does Oreninc do?
Oreninc is a natural resource focused merchant bank, and we focus on putting together and structuring natural resource transactions.
Now, I know you're up on a panel with Rohit Savant from CPM Group, with our own Peter Hug from Kitco Metals. The panel is focused on precious metals. Are you coming with a bullish or bearish stance?
I'm coming with a bearish stance per se, in particular to gold. I'm bearish on gold. I am bullish other precious metals. I think things like rhodium make sense. I think platinum makes sense. I don't necessarily like gold.
Okay. I'm going to stop you there because it's amazing how many bears I'm just finding. Why aren't you liking gold right now?
I'm not liking gold because too much of gold is fundamentally levered. If you look at I used to work for a small hedge fund called D.E. Shaw. And hedge funds traditionally buy stuff with 20 times, 30 times levered, and more importantly, they buy stuff with borrowed money. They don't actually own the money they buy stuff with. They buy stuff with investors' money. And when you look at the percent of gold that's being held by people who do not fundamentally hold it in an unlevered state, the first thing that's going to happen in an inflationary cycle, if one actually comes, is that people are going to have to face cash calls, because the first thing you do when the market blows up is you go to cash. And when you go to cash, you pull cash out of the market. And the first thing the hedge funds and the other people are going to be able to pull will be the gold, because that's the most liquid thing on a lot of these portfolios. So I'm fundamentally not bullish gold, because the entire thing that people are buying it to insure against, which is protection in an inflationary environment, I think it's going to be sold into an inflationary environment versus necessarily be protecting an inflationary environment.
So what would need to happen in order for you to turn towards more of a bullish stance for gold?
Well, my fundamental view on gold, which is different than most people's, is that most people think that gold will replace the monetary supply. The fundamental reason to buy gold is inflation will come, which I agree with, and gold is going to be the savior for the monetary supply. Now, that is a wonderful, ambitious concept, but the reality is, when we last were on a gold standard, there was a much smaller global economy. The global economy now is 6, 7, 8 times larger, and the amount of gold in the world has not fundamentally gone up. So for gold to replace M1, for gold to become a core part of the monetary supply, we need a $40,000 per ounce gold price theoretically. And a fundamental transfer of wealth from a certain group of people to other people. And I don't think central bankers around the world, while they might lose control of the monetary supply, I don't think they're going to lose control to the degree where they're willing to give up. They're willing to hand it to the gold bugs, for better or worse.
Okay, so you don't like gold right now. What do you like right now?
Well, I like the platinum group metals, because my view is if theoretically the world melts down and gold does become the storehouse of wealth, gold will be the $100 bill, platinum will be the $200 bill, and things like rhodium will be the $1,000 bill. And fundamentally, you can, silver hecklers.
Right.
He's very upset that I'm not promoting.
Let's ignore the hecklers, thanks.
Oh, we can sell, at least they're here.
Right.
At least I get heckled. It's a sign that I'm truly offending people. I fundamentally think that if we're going to go to a precious metal-based currency, there's not enough gold in the world for that to be the only supply of currency, so you suddenly end up with 2, 3, 4, 5 levels of currency. The other thing that I see happening is in an economic recovery, gold is going to be punished because people are going to put money back towards live assets, and fundamentally platinum, rhodium, and palladium and commodities that we use more of, including silver to enamor that heckler, will be consumed more because we'll have more industrial production that needs it.
Okay, and you like rhodium. That's interesting because rhodium, I've been tracking this metal for 5 years, Benjamin, and it's just been hurting. It's hurting. It's a dying dog.
Well, it's a dying dog that's fundamentally tied to European car production. So I like rhodium, but the fact is Europe is absolutely destroyed right now. So when Europe starts picking back up, when we start putting new catalytic converters on cars in Europe and start actually getting in a net increase in stringent environmental standards, rhodium will come back.
Right.
And fundamentally at $900 an ounce, what's not to like?
Right, but the last spike we saw when rhodium hit 10,000, that was really thanks to South Africa, when there was an electricity shortage.
And do you think, has anything changed in South Africa since then? Has there been a fundamental change in the power generation in South Africa? Has there been a single new power plant? Has there been any fundamental increase in
No, but what I'm saying is it hasn't helped rhodium's cause.
Yes, because there has not been a power shortage since then. But the reality is, when there's a market recovery, in fundamental market recovery in South Africa and global markets, South Africa is going to run out of electricity again. Because the consumers in South Africa are going to want electricity, and they're going to divert it from the smelters, and we'll be back in the exact same sort of squeeze all over again. It takes almost nothing for such a squeeze to happen again. And the market is fundamentally tight enough that you could see such a run-up. Look, the long-term average price for rhodium is $2,300. It's now trading at $900. There's 550 tons of it in the world in total, in all cars, all catalytic converters everywhere. There's 170,000 tons of gold, or 140, 170,000 tons of gold. If we're looking at relative value, I think rhodium is a great value at $900 an ounce.
So how do you buy? Do you buy the pool? Do you buy ETF? Do you buy actual physical rhodium that I know exists out there?
I believe that you're going to be buying metals by physical. I mean, derivatives are never particularly much fun. If you're buying it for the end of the world, I can guarantee you that when the monetary supply melts down and all of the gremlins come out of the ground because the zombie apocalypse is coming, when that all happens in one fell swoop, I can guarantee you that you're going to want the physical metal buried in your backyard, and you're certainly not going to want an ETF that you won't be able to cash.
All right, Benjamin, you're a hoot. I could chat with you all day. Thanks so much, and good luck. I know you're on the panel with my colleague Peter Hugg, so really good luck with that.
I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun. I'm sure he might want to kill me at the end of it. Cheers.
Thanks, Benjamin. Thanks for watching our continuous coverage from the Metals and Minerals Conference here in San Francisco. You can email me at newsfeedback@kitco.com or follow me on Twitter at Daniela Cambone. Thanks for watching.